we discussed about data binding. So in React components, while working with the components, we discussed about data binding. So how the binding expression is used, and we discussed about how to define, how do we work with property binding, right? How we can bind to any properties. So we saw one example of how we can bind and display complex data, right? So we learned about how we can present this kind of information. So accessing data from a collection and presenting the data here. Now we will see some more points here. That means how we can present more complex data, how to handle and present more complex data. We'll see that. Now, while working with presentation of data, more complex data, we will see how example for presenting table, how we can present a table, right? Designing and presenting a table. So then here, presenting table here, is it? Yep, presenting table here, how do we work is, means suppose we are having some complex data, JSON type data. So let's see how we can do it. I will remove this. Okay. And here I am declaring a products. Products is an array. So the products array contains some properties. First, we will see general data here. In the next level, I am going to show you how to work with API, how we can consume with API. Here we have products is an array of objects. So we have name and some name, and we have price and some price. Now we have like this, we have few details, name, and here we have some name and price, and we have some price. Okay. I want to present this data in a tabular form. If we have to do this in JavaScript, lot of work is there. In JavaScript jQuery, we have to create rows, we have to create cells, we need to add cells to rows, rows to table. It's a lengthy process. If the same we have to do in JavaScript. But here how you can manage simply, I'm creating here as products table. Now just we are defining a table. I'm adding some class as table and table hover. These are bootstrap classes. Table have t header section. In that we row have two cells. One is name, another one is price. And here I am adding t body, that is table body. In the table body, we need to generate a row. We need to generate a row for every record, every object inside this collection. Then how to do that? We write a binding expression here, and we need to read every record from collection. Then yesterday we learned products.map. Map will read every product. After reading every product, for every product, we have to generate a row. We have to generate a row. So you need to generate a row. And here in this row, when we configured the row, now row should repeat. How many times it will repeat? How many products are there? Right? And in row directly you cannot display data. Already you know that. In this row, we need one cell. In this first cell, I need to display product.name. And in the second cell, I need to display product.price. So that is how we have to handle. Right now, you can see the data is presented in a tabular form. We are accessing the data and we are presenting the data. If you want to display complex data, then you have to use these techniques. So anything you can dynamically generate. For that, first you should have good idea of how presentation can be done. Means your HTML elements and their hierarchy you have to know correctly. Which element to repeat, what data to repeat, those you have to configure. This is one simple example how we can present a table. This is an example. Similarly, suppose we have to present some other content. Suppose you see how we can use nested iterations, how we can present nested data. Sometimes object in object, in that object some array, very complicated data will be there. In that case, in an array you can have an array. That means you need to have a map inside another map. It's a complex. For example, see now here I will generate that. Here we will create that. What we will do here is, so we will remove this data. Okay, this time I'm just creating another simple collection here. So where menu, I'm designing menu. In menu, it is an array of objects. Menu contains category. Category is a string. I am using category name as electronics. In that we have products. Products is again an array. So in products we need again some string. We have like Samsung TV. So we have like mobile. This is some complex data. Now you have array in array. That means now I have another category. In this I have some footwear and products, and in that, so we have like Nike casuals. So we have like Lee boot, something like this. Now I need to display this data in a multi-level hierarchy. For example, how I want to display this is, we want the presentation to happen like this. Suppose it should be in this way. That means number one, electronics. In this electronics we have A, so this is some TV, and B, this is mobile. Number two, this is footwear, and here we have A, so that is Nike, and B, some Lee boot. Like this we want. This is the presentation we want for the data we have. That means what should happen? Now we need to display these categories in one level. Under that category, again products is an array. This should be in another level, second level. Then how you will present? Let's see, I am creating here heading, so categories. Okay, here I will design an ordered list. In this, first we are using a binding expression. We have to repeat all the records, read all the records. Then menu dot map, we will read every item. Okay, after reading every item, we will generate a list item. In this list item, we are going to display the item dot category, and you can see the categories will be there. Electronics, footwear. You know in HTML how to create a nested list. How do I create a nested list? Do I need to create a list under this or inside it? How to create a nested ordered list or unordered list in HTML? Inside list item or outside list item? Under that will not happen. Are you sure? Under that cannot happen. Shall I show? So here I am defining this now. Suppose we have an ordered list. And we have a list item. So electronics. And under this I have an unordered list item TV. and another list item, mobile. We have another list item. So this is some footwear. Under this, we have an unordered list. So list item, suppose some Nike. So another list item, some Lee. And you can see that it is working. So tell me, do I need to write inside or outside? In software technologies, I hope you learned that computer programming have good and bad coding. Always prefer as per the standards, write the code. I hope you people know code analyzers. You learned Java, .NET or C, C++. Code analyzers. That means those softwares will identify the problems in your code. Problems means not compile errors. Are you writing code in a proper structured way? Are you missing any rules? Because in real world environment, we have to follow certain rules and write. For example, you might have learned everywhere in general programming that your trainer will say that if you can write a condition and we have a curly brace and a statement when true. And you might have learned your trainer told you that condition and without curly brace also you can write a statement. Am I right? Right? And you can write else another statement without using the block, right? But and you may thought that it is shortcut for that, but this is bad coding. That is completely not good. You may think that it is shortcut, but it is bad coding. Why it is bad coding? Because why curly brace are there? To tell the compiler where to start and where to end. Why you are not writing them? Saving the lines? Then you are confusing the compiler. You are not telling compiler where to start and stop. This is completely bad. That is what your code analyzer softwares will do. That means output it comes, but it is good or bad. In future, will it have any issues or not? These things we need to know. I hope you people already know about various code analyzers. You already know about various code analyzers. I hope you already learned code analyzers. What are the code analyzers? PMD, Sonar. You learned about them? Huh? You know PMD? Huh? This is PMD. This is a code analyzer. This is code analyzer. And in this code analyzer, you see, go to the documentation. You have rules, Java rules, .NET rules, C, HTML rules, so many are there. Now I will go to some ECMA rules, which are JavaScript rules. I will go to best practices and or I will go to code style. Here you can see if statements, you see it says that this is okay and this is bad, right? You may learn several shortcuts, so but we don't prefer them. We don't prefer. So that means the people who built that language, they say that this is a bad practice. Then who are you to try these shortcuts? And why you are wasting the time? This may lead to abnormal behavior of application. Initially, it may satisfy your functionality, but in future, it may lead to abnormal behavior, which we have to avoid. So that is the reason every software programmer knows code analyzers. We will see such code analyzers while working with TypeScript. So you can write in this way. This is good. It's working fine. But this is bad coding. Why? Because this is not a part of this list item. It is not a part of this list item. That means I don't want under that list item. I want as a part of that item. That means the good code is you put inside this only. Understood? Without that also it works, no problem. But a developer should know correctly what is good code, what is bad code. So that is the reason when you look at various examples, one programmer will give example in one style, the same example another person does in another style. Now you need to pick which one is standard. Right now, how to handle a nested list now. I hope you know now. Now inside this list item, I have to access an unordered list. This unordered list, ordered list, anything. This unordered list again have an iterator. In this expression, this time I have to iterate what? Every item have category. That category is a string type. And every item have products. This products is an array again. That means we have to use items, item dot products, that is an array. This should map. We have to map, and you are reading every element, and we are reading, so here every product, and we need to print that product as a list item. This product must be printed here. That means now it will generate the list items in this. This is how the data is presented. In JavaScript jQuery, you have to write nested iterations, nested loops. Now here we have to just use the nested map, right? You should know exactly how the content is presented and it is configured. This is one simple example of how we can use nested iteration. Now tell me here, is this possible to do in the similar way? In a drop down, can I present like this? Will a drop down supports nested options? Have you ever tried? Nested options. Can we present this in a drop down? What do you say? It is possible, because I hope you know drop down have option group. You learned about option group. By using option group, we can do it. Suppose I want to present this in a drop down. So what we have to do is, you want to define in group. So here I am writing another heading. So I said select a product. We will create a drop down. In this drop down, first we are creating iteration. So that is menu dot map. You read every item same. For every item, we have to create OPT group. I hope you know that. You know HTML have option group in drop downs. In this OPT group, we have to use a label property. To this label property, we have to bind item dot category. I hope you learned this in HTML, that option group contains a label. Inside option group, you can have options. Now inside option group, we need to generate option. Again, for whom? Item dot products. We have to map. And here we need to read every product. And for every product, you need to generate an option. This option contains text. What is it? Product. And as per the rules of iteration, as we learned yesterday, every iterating item must have a key. Am I right? Key. So it is item dot category. And here also we should have a key. What is it? Product. We will use the unique keys for that. Again, here also OPT group, we have to use a key. That is item dot category. And every option will have a key. What is it? Product. And you can see that same type of presentation you can have in a drop down also. So that is what we discussed, that people come and ask, sir, little bit HTML knowledge I am having. Can I learn React? Don't joke. Right? Little bit HTML, little bit JavaScript. These type of people will know. I will give this example, how we can present nested iterations. So at least now, I hope you got a clarity how to present a text, how to present a number or a boolean, how to present an object, how to present an array, how to present an array of objects, how to present nested, right? Later we will see some more complex designs also. Initially we learned how the data binding works with all these, how the data binding works.